about that? That's a nigga.
Shit, he better. he better take me serious, but I don't think so. I think they training. I think they're training as hard as they can. You know, I think they putting trying to put a little mastermind squad together to coach for this fight, and you know, it's gonna be a good fight. I'm gonna tell you like this: we're preparing for the best Gervonta Davis that's gonna be, you know, that everyone's ever seen. That's what we're preparing for. We're not preparing for a guy who might not be focused. We're not preparing for a guy who might be lazy or anything like that. We're preparing for the best version of him.
As the sun set at Miami International Airport, everything seemed routine until it suddenly wasn't out of nowhere. Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. clashed in a wild scene that shocked everyone around and went viral online within seconds. Two elite boxers, one airport, and an unexpected fight with no ropes, no crowd, just pure tension. One thing was clear: this wasn't just a random run-in, it was deeply personal.
Lamont Roach definitely earned my respect tonight. Definitely one of the first fighters to put Tank to the test. Matching fire with fire. That was a good fight. For me, I need to see a rematch ASAP. But yeah, Tank definitely took the knee 100%. I see Roach winning that 7-5 personally. But boxing's business, so they were never gonna let him have that win. Roach's timing was on point though. No easy knockouts tonight. Just sharp counters. Like, very good fighter, very good fighter. Let me know what you guys think. If that robbery was fair or not. Leave it in the comments.
Lamont Roach was in Miami for a busy media run, doing press interviews, promo shoots, and building excitement for his next fight. Since his intense face-off with Gervonta Davis ended in a debated draw, he's been riding a wave of support, with fans now seeing him as the underdog turned serious threat.
Who am I here with today? Lamont Roach Jr. I don't know who you are, man. What do you do for a living? Man, I box. How long have you been boxing for? I've been boxing since I was 9 years old, so 20 years. How old were you when you made your first million? I was 29. You made some money. What's the best piece of advice about money you've received throughout your career? Save that money gonna save you. Has there ever been one experience where you spent too much money than you thought you should have? Do you regret? That I regret? No. But there's been a lot of times where I shouldn't have spent as much money as I did. Is there one piece of advice that now that you've been boxing for a couple of years, you can tell your younger self about boxing? My advice to my younger self would be keep going. You're gonna end up exactly where you're supposed to be at. As long as you work hard, put your faith in God, and you just keep pushing. What made you really stand out as a boxer? My hard work, determination to be the best. Is there one boxer that you think inspires you the most with your play style? I take bits and pieces from all boxers, even some of my opponents and stuff like that. Anyone specifically? No, not necessarily. What keeps you motivated to keep pushing hard still? It's definitely hard for me to give up because I know what's at stake. I know what can happen. I know what can happen with hard work. But if I ever feel like giving up, my motivation would be my son, my family, the ones who behind me 100%. They've been down at the bottom with me, so they coming up top with me. Where can they find you on social media, man? 1of1X. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, bro.
Meanwhile, Tank Davis arrived like he owned the place, hoodie on, surrounded by his crew, eyes full of payback. But under all that confidence was pressure, legal issues, online clashes, and a rematch that felt deeply personal. When they spotted each other near baggage claim, everything stopped. No talking, just pure intensity. Tank stepped forward. Roach stood his ground. They met like two different paths, crashing power, met determination, chaos, met focused security. Rushed in. But it was too late. Tank struck first. Roach fired back. Fast punches flew the area, exploded with noise. Phones recorded. People yelled. This wasn't about belts anymore. It was real pride, raw and uncut. Two fighters, too fired up to wait for the official rematch. A moment like this doesn't come out of nowhere. The first Davis versus Roach fight didn't go as expected. It was meant to be another easy night for Tank, a showcase to prove he's still the top name in boxing. But right from the start, Roach changed everything. It started as just another Tank showcase. Another night where the knockout king was supposed to dominate and remind the world why he's the face of boxing. But from the opening bell, Roach flipped the script.
Oh, nice double left hook by Roach to the body and then to the head. Right there it is. Oof. And Davis just got backed up with a counter right from Roach.
That's a big moment in the left.
Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still, Roach leaning with it.
He took a knee.
He took a knee. What is he doing?
He forgot his...
Nice combination from Roach. Best of you. Oh, another right, another right, left by Roach. Nice combination. Got just over around 11 as well.
Maybe he didn't pop.
He here in the 11th. Both of them have landed.
Has to keep doing that. Roach said the familiarity knows his weaknesses. It's one thing to say it.
The decision is a majority draw.
He walked in calm, sharp, and totally fearless. Like seriously, he took Tank's punches without backing down.
How do you assess his power after being in there for 12?
He got decent power. He got decent power for sure. I ain't gonna say it's exaggerated. I told y'all I got a chin. I ain't going like that. It's just not gonna happen. But like I said, I see why he knocked people out, and I think he felt my power too. Like I think that's what negated a lot of his shots. And once I took his best shot, I was like, oh yeah, it's time to roll. Like I said, I knew I had a chin. I mean, I spar guys that were like junior middleweights, like current champions that was at that weight. So I know I can take a punch. He's twitchy in there. Like I do see why he knocked people out. I mean, like being up close and personal. Obviously, I seen it on the TV like that, but I understand why he knocked people out. I'm not gonna tell y'all because y'all gonna tell him.
Meanwhile, Tank looked off messy and clearly frustrated. He threw wild shots, missed badly, and didn't look like the fighter everyone feared. Then came round 9, the most talked about moment of the fight. Tank went down on one knee, clearly shaken, but the ref called it a slip, not a knockdown.
Tank did that, so I know it got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, it would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He seemed a little distracted in the fight.
That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee, he's like, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut my braids off. I had braids, and I had the same thing. I went through the same when I fought Andre. That burning my eye, so I cut that off.
That single call flipped the whole outcome. If it had been ruled right, Roach might have taken the win. Instead, it ended in a draw, and the boxing world went wild.
Tank, you voluntarily took a knee midway through this fight. It was not ruled a knockdown. What happened?
I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she picked grease in my shit, so the shit was like, you know, like when you sweating and things like that, the grease come in my face, it burnt my eyes type shit. Damn, why y'all booing like I'm saying bullshit? Like, this is real facts. Come on, man. Look at my hair. I just got my shit done. But it's all cool, man. You know how I get. They love you and then they hate you. Turn around and love you again. You know what I mean?
Fans called it a robbery. Experts said Tank got exposed for the first time. People weren't just doubting the result, they were doubting if Tank was still the top dog. Meanwhile, Roach came out with all the momentum. He didn't just hold his own, he made Tank look beatable.
Really in there, man. I thought I won. I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the bills. I've been telling y'all that. And I'm just glad I got to show it, honestly. I'm glad I got to show it. I appreciate, like I said before, I appreciate true boxing media. Some guys that didn't count me out. So that's just how I feel, man. I think I won. And, you know, I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to dance again.
Roach is now on everyone's radar because who wouldn't want to be the one to beat the guy who made Gervonta Davis drop to a knee?
Who you gonna fight next?
That's what I'm talking about. That's the question right there. I want to unify at 135. Me and Shakur already talked to each other, and if he's available and we can line it up, that's what we're going to do.
Really? Y'all wait, y'all spoke like this? Yo, let's get this popping.
For sure.
Like
What are you
that.
talking about? If he beats Tank, he's fighting Tank again. Obviously, there's a rematch going on.
We talking about past that. We're talking past that because you got to give him the option and tell what he gonna do. So you talk personally to Shakur, no managers, whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Personally, he cool.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. So you're now officially moving up to 35?
I mean, we gonna see. I mean, like, so I'm gonna be the champ at both weights.
Right.
And if there's no opportunity to unify at 35, I want to unify at 30. I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen.
Now that the rematch is locked in for August, all focus is back on Gervonta Davis. But not like before. This time, it's not about hype, it's about proving himself.
I could have stopped him. It's me. Definitely my fault.
That first fight left a mark on his legacy, and the only way to fix it is by beating Roach. Clearly no decisions, no close rounds, just a bold statement. Because if Tank slips again, or even loses, it might be the start of the fall of his era.
How many rematches have you fought?
0.
what do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, that's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder. If that didn't give me the win, then I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% full fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta tonight. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's where people get messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot. And I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
He's been labeled a protected fighter accused of avoiding real tests and criticized for being too caught up in outside drama. This rematch is his chance to silence all of that. But pressure can break even the toughest. And right now Tank is carrying a reputation that's starting to show cracks. But here's the twist, not everyone's convinced the airport fight was real. Some fans think it was staged, just another way to hype the rematch. And honestly, it wouldn't be a first for boxing. Just look at Tank's old mentor Floyd Mayweather. When he was hyping his exhibition with Logan Paul, Floyd staged a chaotic moment with Jake Paul, the famous got your hat scene that blew up online later. It came out most of it was planned, timed perfectly to grab headlines and boost sales.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to talk about it on this.
No way. You know I went to bat for you.
Bro, I still have like 3 or 4 things to unload.
I went to bat for you on
What
this.
did you say?
I was like, Jake's not, like, you were like, oh, Jake's a big pussy for running. I was like, you stand in front of 10 dudes and see how you do.
25 dudes.
But this was set up.
Yeah.
So you and Floyd are like talking about the stuff. Like, yo,
Yeah.
run up on me in this van.
Yeah, we
No
were like,
way.
let's set this up and make this go viral.
Jeez.
This was like us at dinner. Like
Oh, no way.
planning it out. I don't, you know what's crazy is that like I was debating on whether or not to like reveal that the whole Floyd thing was fake, but I was just like, fuck it.
Right now the rematch seems to be tilting toward Roach, and it's not just because of how the first fight played out. The real issue is Tank. He's not fully focused on Lamont Roach. He's already looking ahead, teasing a huge money fight with Jake Paul, a YouTuber, more spectacle than sport, and sure, that might bring in cash, but it won't help him in the ring. The truth is fans aren't hyped about that fight. They know exactly what it is, a money move, not a real test.
You know Gervonta and Jake Paul are gonna fight too. Oh yeah, Jake's gonna kill him. Probably the end of the year.
I want to go to one. We gotta go to a fight together, guys.
You gotta come to my brand race, Tennessee.
We're going to the one for...
Meanwhile, Roach is locked and more focused than ever and hungry for a clear win. Tank's already looking past him. And in boxing, that's the quickest way to lose everything. Shakur Stevenson thinks the idea of Davis fighting Paul is a joke. He says Tank should face a real contender like him after dealing with Roach, but instead Tank's chasing the YouTuber.
Golden say you got your eye on Tank. What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it.
Let's be honest, this fight does nothing for Tank's career. Let's say he beats Lamont Roach in August, dominates the rematch, silences the critics, and gets back his unbeatable image. You'd think he'd go after Shakur Stevenson, or maybe even call out Devin Haney again, right? But no, he's chasing a Netflix showdown with a YouTuber instead.
Who were you gonna call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
How does that even make sense now? Flip the scenario. If Tank loses to Roach, that's 2 losses in a row to a guy who already came close to beating him the first time. If that knockdown had been scored right, if he drops the rematch, the Jake Paul fight loses, all meaning who's really going to care about a guy who just lost to Lamont Roach going up against Jake Paul? It'll look desperate, like a cash grab, like someone who's done with real competition.
You think of former athletes and celebrities like Jake Paul taking up boxing, you think that grows the sport?
If he's doing it for the right reason, actually want to do it because of just like actually want to box, it's cool. But if he's doing it for like the wrong reason, just to get the hype and stuff like that, I feel as though it's trash. Sometimes people get bored of what they doing, and they want to try other stuff. Got to be mentally tough to be able to box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So just show how tough you are. That's how it should be.
Sure, that's all I got. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
And honestly, that's what a lot of people are already thinking. The signs are there. Tank's been talking about retiring. He even said boxing feels boring now.
Sorry. What changed? What made this shit trash, garbage?
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Gervonta, something should have happened during the time, because when we saw you when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything? Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford or Leonard Edelby? Usually they're around to.
You think you might be gaining the love for it though? You never know. Like say you got to walk today.
And he's even been caught smoking during training camp. Yeah, the same camp for the Lamont Roach fight. No wonder he nearly lost. He also cut ties with Calvin Ford, the only coach who's been with him from the start.
Something is definitely going on between Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis. Now, we all seen that knockdown in the 9th round, but what you probably didn't see is what happened after that in between rounds. Check this out. Coach Barry Hunter trained Tank for this fight with Lamont Roach, not Calvin Ford. A lot of people were saying that this performance has something to do with that. So, is something really going on between Calvin Ford and Tank Davis? Check out what Tank had to say.
No, I wasn't really paying attention to the crowd. You know what I mean? I was more so. It's something we gotta work on in the corner, for sure.
Jake's last fight with Tyson broke streaming records, all because of Netflix. If he brings Netflix in again for the Tank fight, we're looking at a $50 million event easy. That's more than Tank would earn fighting Shakur and Haney put together.
You give them a good show, and you make your money. Like Jake Paul, made $40 million off of that. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson made $20 million off of the fight. It was played in the AT&T Stadium. We don't even know how much those guys got. How much did Netflix make? You know what I'm saying? How much did everybody involved made? Since Jake Paul made 40 million, Mike made 20 million. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it was all like an exhibition type show, and it was just for each other to get some money. Mike got his money, Jake Paul got his money, and by unanimous decision, Jake Paul won because, of course, he was a younger guy.
Let's not pretend to be surprised, Tanks. Just following the same playbook Floyd Mayweather used. Floyd turned boxing into a business by picking fights with opponents who had no real shot at beating him.
By the way, I got fucking gypped, but at the time, what did he make from it? I had 15% of that fight, so he had 85%. Yeah, he had 85%.
85 mil. Basically.
No, if I made 5, whatever the math of that. Yeah, he'd be made.
Logan, if I get in the ring, you think I can make some money?
I don't think you should do that.
No.
I saw you do something.
So that's it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a future upload. And don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.